Hello there everyone and welcome to John Geeks, the series in which I, John, talk about something geeky. Today we're going to be doing another one of the Star Trek Eaglemoss official Starship collection model hootenannies. Before we get started with this, however, a quick bit of information / pleading. In one of the corners you will notice a red com badge. If you enjoy the video at any point, you can click on that button and it will allow you to subscribe to the channel where you can catch up on all of these videos. There is also an existing playlist where I go through a fair few of these models, and I'm always looking for suggestions for more to do. I can't talk today. So today, as you've probably noticed, we are doing the Borg Diamond, or more specifically the octahedron, I believe it is otherwise supposed to be properly known. Now then, as has become traditional with these, we're going to shimmy this away and look at the wee magazine first. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, I don't think, just because, as with all the others, the detail is a little iffy. So, we have a render there on the front. If I can get this damn thing into focus. Its affiliation is Borg. Well, you don't say, it's the Borg Queen ship. It was in operation in the 2370s, it's capable of transwarp, and its main weapons were projectiles. I assume it means torpedoes, not just throwing spoons out the window. Right, and we have a few more sexy renders as per. It lived in the Delta Quadrant. And the first paragraph. The Borg Queen's ship was strikingly different in appearance than other Borg vessels in that it was diamond-shaped, or more accurately, octahedron-shaped. Ah, see, I've read ahead. As far as it was known, the Borg Queen's vessel was unique, and it was normally situated inside the Borg's Unicomplex. Is this interesting for you? I can't tell. These kind of things normally bore me, but apparently it's something people want me to do, so here we go. This vast structure was the closest thing the Borg had to a home. It was located deep... No, I'm bored now. Okay, cool. There's a couple of pictures and there's an annotation here which says the Borg Queen ship was afforded maximum protection deep inside the enormous spaceborne Borg city known as the Unicomplex. This was a vast infrastructure of interconnecting modules, grids and technology that formed a cybernetic metropolis. It also contained thousands of Borg ships and trillions of Borg drones. Also, how cool was that when we first saw... basically, the Borg home. How cool was that? I thought it was really cool. Can you tell by the fact I keep saying it's cool? And we're talking about the diamond over here. This is not going to stay in focus, is it? The inner core section of the Borg Queen ship remained still, while the outer framework rotated in an anti-clockwise direction when it was travelling through space. It was much smaller than a Borg cube, but it was still a formidable offensive vessel in its own right, although it usually travelled with a multi-ship escort. That was something that puzzled me a little bit about the Borg Queen ship, in that it was significantly smaller than most of the Borg vessels. You would think if you were... basically, you've got the commander of the entire collective, you would give her an almighty bastard massive ship, but anyway. This mainly talks about Dark Frontier in here, and the Borg Queen being a disembodied mannequin for most of it. There's a very sparse details on that, because of course we don't really know much about this. It was only really featured as a CGI model. There's a bloke in underpants there. Woohoo. Weapons monitoring station apparently is one of these little nodules. It's basically just a close-up shot. It's something for you to gawk at and be like, ooh. And then it talks about designing the Borg Queen ship. Visual effects producer Dan Curry worked with CG artist Brandon McDougall to create a stunning design for the Borg Queen ship. For the Borg Queen ship, we decided to make it distinctive and instantly recognisable. As different as the rest of the Borg fleet could be, said Curry. Obviously, Borg aesthetics dictated that it should be some sort of geometric shape. As had already been established with the cube ship, the Borg were a race that followed function as well as form, and aerodynamics were irrelevant in the vacuum of space. Lovely. So it goes on a bit about that. The Voyager's journey home, because they have no more to say about the diamond, talking about it crashing and using transwarp and yada yada yada, and the following vessel is the Springfield class, which you can watch the video of now. I'll put a card up in the wahahaha somewhere there, I think it'll be. That was my blurry finger. Right. That was the magazine. That burnt up about 5 minutes. So, here is the diamond. That's actually in focus without me trying. My god, what will happen next? So, lovely little model. Obviously, it would be amazing if it lit up or something, but because of constraints, that's not possible. It's a static model, which, again, you would expect because it is a die-cast. One thing to note about this as well, if the Klingon ships could be used as weapons, my god, this thing is bloody deadly. This is like a morning star of absolute agony. The structure itself, there is... I kind of struggle to identify the metal bits, to be honest. I think the core is the metal bit. I think. I'm not convinced, actually. Do you know what? I think it's just this bit here. Yeah, that's metal. That's metal, and this is metal, and I think the top bit isn't. Yep, that's plastic. That's metal. What a bizarre design choice. Okay, cool. Anyway, my main thing was these bits at the front here. These kind of these are actually a little bit loose and will come off. They are so sharp. So bloody sharp. There are also details that are missing from this, like in the renders you can see that there are like thousands of little sort of space antennas coming off of it, which obviously would be too fragile to put on this, so they haven't done that. It's a practical decision rather than anything else. But even so, the problem with a lot of the Borg ships is that they do come off just a bit bland, unfortunately, because, you know, they're relatively detailless. Even so, you've got... basically every sharp pointy bit that you could ever want on a Borg vessel. It's geometric, as you would expect, because, you know, Borg vessels are geometric. This is why I've not really bought any of the other Borg ships, because it's just like, oh great, I've got a ball and a friggin' glorified Rubik's Cube of death. Great. You do have sort of this sand timer thing in the middle. The rest of it is obviously supposed to spin around that. Yeah, it's mainly just... in the actual renders, it does point out that there should be like a blue glowing energy in the core, and they've not rendered that in at all. There's just sort of green glowy bits here. There's not a great deal to say about this. It's sturdy enough. I would not advise picking this one up too much, because again, lots of sharp bits. In fact, if you have kids, maybe keep this away from them, because they'll probably end up impaling themselves on it or something equally grotesque. Still, we learned today that this isn't technically a diamond, so that's something, eh? Anyway, I want you guys to comment down below. When was the first time you saw this ship? Did you see it when the episode first aired? Did you think it was cool? Did you think it was a gimmick? Let me know down below. Would you want one of these models, and would you keep it somewhere safe? Or would you let your kids play with it as a lesson in life? Because you're that kind of parent. Also, do subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy this video, or indeed if you want to check out more of them. There will be a Star Trek playlist also in one of the cards up above, and you can check out all the other ships that I have done reviews of. I'm making a lot of extra work for myself. Also, thumb up if you're a fan of the Borg Collective. Don't thumb down if you're not. Don't do that. That's bad. I mean, so are the Borg, but you get me. Pointy.